Sheldon, what went into the plan today, keeping the main group off the ice?
Well, we've been talking about this day for the last couple of weeks in terms of how to manage it. We left this one as, we would make a determination at the time based on where we felt the team was at, given that we knew we would be in the middle of a tough schedule, and just felt that was the right thing for today. Like I said, you'd asked me before last night's game, I would say we were probably 80% going to be an off day today, but we wanted to kind of get through the day, see how it went. Now we just finished playing 5 games in 8 nights, 4 in the last 6, and we've got 3 and 4 coming here starting tomorrow night, and this all coming off of the California trip. So, it's been a challenge. So, we can get these days like this recover. I think it's important. We had a lengthy team meeting this morning at the hotel and talked about a number of things, but that I wanted to be the main focus for today.
What is the main message to the group as you try and get things going results-wise?
I think it's just it's a matter of making sure that they understand the things that we've done really well to get leads. I mean, in order to blow leads, you got to get leads. In order to get leads, you got to do good things, and we have done that, and we've put ourselves in position to win games here of late. We said these. I think the other night I said 8 nights. Really, it's 4 games that have come at us in these 6 nights, and they haven't gone our way, and it sort of highlighted some of the issues that we have as a team in terms of closing these games out. I don't think it's necessarily just an issue here in just these days. It's all season long. That's why we failed to win in regulation with the regularity that we'd want to see. Yet, when you just take a step back and you zoom out a little bit, there's a lot of good things that have been happening here. I mean, last night we gave up too much against an Oilers team is going to stress you and has been stressing every team in the league with how they play offensively and the players that they have. But reality is, over the last month, we've been one of the top defensive teams in the NHL, and we've given up very little at 5-on-5 especially, and that's put us in position to be in these games and to, in the 4-game winning streak, to take control of games and close them out. And then here, in these last 6 nights here in the 4 games, we've had times to close it out, and we haven't done so, and that has shown our inconsistency in those big moments. It's not a reflection, I don't think, of where our team is at. As I said, when you zoom out on it, we've been one of the top defensive teams in the NHL over the last 10-11 games going into last night, and given up very little at 5-on-5, but yet in these moments, games on the line, there's big moments, the consistency to stay with it when fatigue becomes a factor, when the other team starts to really push. We haven't gotten it done at those times. So that's a big part of it, is to execute in those critical moments. And then it's on the other side of it, as I alluded to a bit last night, we got to score a little more. Give ourselves a little more breathing room. Put the dagger in the opposition when you have a chance. We could have blown that game wide open last night. And that's not to say that they didn't have their chances. And Jonesy made saves for us, but we could have had 3 or 4 in that first period. And a lot of other nights we may very well have done that. But when it's not going in, then all the more reason why you need to just stay with it, dig in, be consistent, and execute defensively the things that you do throughout the game that put you in those positions to begin with.
So defensively, what are some of those things you really want to kind of drill down and see your team improve on?
Like I just said, we've been one of the best defensive teams in the NHL over the last 11 games. So let's not confuse that with what's happened in these moments. Like when the game is tight and you make 1 or 2 mistakes that can hurt you, and they have here of late, then all of a sudden you get asked about them every day, and you're talking about them. If we score more, or we finish those games out, you don't ask about them, and you maybe would be sitting here talking to me about how we've given up so little at 5-on-5, and then in our most recent 10 game segment, we had the best goals against at 5-on-5 in the NHL. You're talking about those things rather than breaking down our issues on defense. But it's the critical moments you got to defend, and when fatigue, you get tired, the other team's pushing. Last night we're tired, we can't get the puck out a couple times, and now you got to really be dialed in and protect your net. Like I said, there's been a lot of things we've done very well that have put us in position to have leads and be in control of games. and then we've cracked at the wrong times, and that's what's happened here in this last little stretch. But tomorrow night is another opportunity for us to get it right.
What are you seeing in John's dip in production? Is it just puck luck, or does he need to get to better areas, or why do you think he's had this dip?
I think it's some of that. I went going back through it and I looked at it. For me, Tavares and Nylander through the game, and if you look at the scoring chances, were probably our most consistent contributors throughout the game in all three periods, and generating chances. So there's, some of it is that, but every team and every player is going to go through little dips in the season. John's gone through these dips before. Willie's gone through these dips before, and finds his way back. And I suspect John will do the same. To me, defensively, John's done a good job for us. And again, to me, I see a little bit of fatigue going on with John, a little bit too. To me, doesn't have the same pop and same jump that he's had, and maybe that's a symptom of our schedule. But like I said, offensively, there's a lot of focus there. Even Willie, I don't know how many crossbars Willie's hit in posts here in the last 5 or 6 games, but it's been a lot. And the fact that Tavares and Willie, I know they had different wingers with them throughout the game. Those guys were in on a good number of our scoring chances last night, so we just got to stay with it.
For this session, for the extra guys, what made you decide to want to kind of join in on that?
Well, a couple things. I don't know what else I would do with my time in Calgary here today, but coming here to be with the guys. These guys haven't played a lot, and they've been working really hard, and then the coaches too. So just to have my support and being out here and working with all the players that are here, whether it's the players that haven't played, or whether it's Samsonov or Joe Wall being out there, just a chance for me to be out there with them. It feels more productive for me today after what I thought was a really good morning for the team.
Where are you at with TJ Brodie's game right now?
Yeah, Broads is, to me, is defensively, I think he's given up more and hasn't been as consistent as we've come to rely upon. Yet I don't know if he's had many easy nights in terms of matchups and such, and that's just a reality of our group, and we need that out of him. I thought there's some moments last night that really kind of hurt us in the game, but I think there's a good stretch of games here in the last little bit. I thought through the California trip and everything, his game started to really improve, particularly his ability to move the puck up the ice, which is a strength of his game, is to move the puck out, be efficient with his breakouts and his regroups, and help us get some pucks to the net on offense. So all that to say, I think he's battled and he's competed for us. I think we need more out of him, him and our guys that we need to rely upon in these key moments of closing out games, right? Like whether it's Brodie that we've come to rely on over the years, or anyone that goes on the ice in those key moments, we need to execute. And some of it is relying upon those who've been here, and then the other part of it, as I'm trying to work through as a coach, is to figure out with all the new players we have, whether it's forward or defense, who are we going to rely on in those moments? Who's going to go out and get the job done? And despite the fact we're through the halfway point of the season here now, 42 games in, I still have a lot of questions, quite honestly, about who is going to go out and we can say is for certain he's going to get the job done for us. To me, it's a little bit inconsistent throughout the group, and I would put TJ in that category.
Feels like a lot of it is psychological right now with the key moments. What's the key to coaching through a situation, a stretch like this?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's reconnecting them with the fact that they've done it a lot, right? I mean, I just referenced there's a number of players that have been here for us. There's a lot of newer guys, but those who have been here, we've been an elite team in the regular season for a number of years, and yet you don't get to that without finding ways to close out games. You don't win a playoff series against Tampa Bay with how tight those games were and how hard we had to defend and find ways to defend through those games and persevere. You don't get that done without the ability to be mentally tough. So we have that within us. So that's for the guys who have been here, and for the others, it's about really finding their place and for some of them, they're in some different types of roles than they've been in their careers in different spots. But finding some familiarity and embracing those opportunities. For me, it's continuing to push and challenge them, make them aware of what's happening. We went through a lot of that and discussed it, very bluntly this morning, but also giving them the confidence to know that they can push through this, and they've done it a number of times, and that as much as that things are intense and pressure rises in those critical moments, it's still the same game that they played in the early periods to get those leads and to be in control. And we showed a number of clips last night where we were in control of things defensively, and then won the puck back and quickly transitioned to offense, which was a huge part of our plan last night, was to defend hard, transition to offense, and get opportunities to score. I thought that we did that part of the game probably as well as we have in quite a long time. So it's there, it's in us, and it's on me to continually remind them about that, but push them at the same time to find their way through this.
How challenging right now is balancing ice time? Like, you want more goals, but the top guys might get a little fatigued during this heavy schedule. Like, how challenging is that for you? It's a challenge.
I mean, and we've been working through that, or I've been working through that sort of in preparation for this stretch, is knowing you need to get more out of your bottom six guys. Their minutes up until last night have gone way up, and their top guys' minutes have come down, and you're trying to build trust and opportunity for those other guys to recognize their role and their importance, so we can get through these kind of things. Last night, quite honestly, and you got the McDavid and Draisaitl combinations coming at you, and don't have last change. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and that to me again is me trusting our whole lineup, but at the same time, we need some individuals to really step up and show that I can be out here at this moment and you can rely upon me. I don't know that we're there yet, but I believe we will get there, and I believe we've, like I said, done enough good things throughout a lot of these games to show that we can do it. It's about the consistency throughout, and the more guys we have on board, and the more that we can spread those minutes. Otherwise, it's a natural tendency to go to your best people.
Thank you.